Siyasanga, Kanyisa, JAMJAM.
Yes.
Yourself, love your job, man. Being a comedian in this day and age, man.
Yes, a lot of fun. Yes.
And if you're Will Smith and your wife had just come through that information,
I'm not gonna frazzle myself in front of billions of people.
No, but shout out to who will stand on business.
Lots of rugby this past couple months, couple weeks.
Yeah.
Box that dominated against Ireland.
No, send them to Lobster, send them to Bloom, send them to Brakpan, send them to
Springbok bomb squad game plan is literally abusing test laws. Test rugby. That's what he said.
You have a guy like Oxenchain who's almost like born to scrum.
Then the Box play against Portugal. Down to 14 men. You know, and obviously they still was dominant that was.
Yeah, that was like when we see D-Rex on the team sheets, we emphasize
Sasha, Feinberg,
Yeah.
Gomez,
Yeah.
Songs Cloud.
You have to play for the team that went to high school in. Yeah. Yeah, we'll be right. But yeah, no.
You know, school goes, you know, we went through a test, came back positive. Every single player out there listening, you guys watching, listening, talk to whoever you need to talk to, get the help you need. And yeah, it's important just to stay ahead of it, you know. But we are seeing a trend, you know, because obviously Schumacher and Pele,
Yeah,
you know.
If my men have fallen to those
Temptations.
yeah. So
Now they're like, oh, okay, after I play, I must take a photo with my other front roommates and we must have the beers on line. So, but obviously we had the two youngsters, Hugo and Oscar. Allegedly they were arrested. What's the first thing you think of when you wake up?
my bank account.
Would you take 50,000 rand or dinner with Siakolisi?
50,000.
Female celebrity crush.
No, boy.
Wait, Welcome. Okay. Players. We are active. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Scrumatme show. We outside. It's the first time we live. Tishara, how you feeling?
No, I'm feeling great.
Feel good.
It's an honor to be here on the Scrumatme show.
Yeah.
It's a historic day.
Yeah.
Welcome to all our fans and all our viewers all across the world.
Yeah.
It's the first episode of the Scrumatme show, so I'm quite excited to be here.
Yeah, no, Tishara, that's true. It is our first episode, and we are live, you know, and I'm actually your host, Buki Sofisa, and I'm here with my co-host, Eastern Cape's greatest rugby mind, in my opinion, Tishara, aka Snija Janela. Yeah, before we get started, we have to just say thank you to our sponsor, the Scrumatme. Thank you for
Shout out.
yeah, thank you for everything you've done for us. Thank you to our fans. Thank you to our followers. Thank you to everybody that's tapped in. You know, obviously, just tap in again. If you know someone that isn't tapped in, tap them in. Send them the link. Get them started. Get them going. Tishara, any words you gonna give them? Any words?
No, I'm excited for the Scrumatme show.
Yeah.
We're gonna unpack the latest news, the latest rugby news all across the world.
Yeah.
Super exciting season heading into a rugby championship in a few weeks' time. So, no, there's a lot happening in the world of rugby.
Yeah, then let's get to it. But Tishara, first things first. We have a guest. We have a big guest today. Okay, our big guest hails from Grahamstown, St Andrews College, South Africa's favorite funny comedian / rugby commentator as well, social media commentator. Siyasanga, Kanyisa, JAMJAM.
JAMJAM.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Kanyisa, JAMJAM.
Yeah,
Yeah, I couldn't say Siyasanga, I'm sorry about
I
that.
don't know where that's It's a lot of money out there.
Yeah. Otherwise, how are you, bro?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good.
Yeah.
Surviving. Life's good. I can't complain.
Yeah. I must say, obviously, social media, real life is very different. Obviously, we used to see the videos on Instagram.
Yeah,
we used to see the commentary there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we live.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So, for you, just give us a few words. How did you actually get started with comedy? Obviously, you're a comedian. We hear the jokes, we laugh, we entertain every single day. How'd you get started?
So my comedy journey started probably 2018.
Yes.
There was a good friend of mine who was at St. Andrews College with me who started comedy around the same time. So then, yeah, he had told me for years about like, must try it out, get on stage.
Yeah.
He's tried out for the first time in 2014.
In 2014?
He tried out in 2014.
Okay.
And by the time 2018 hit, he kept on nagging. Yeah. If anyone ever claims my success, it's that guy. We're still great friends now, and he's in TV production now.
Okay.
Still does stand up on the side, but not like as mainstream as me. But that's pretty much where I got my start in 2018.
What does he do in TV production?
He like produces shows for like MTV Base Africa.
Okay.
So some of these like reality shows,
Yeah.
In that realm,
Any particular shows that come to mind?
MTV, you got Got.
You got Got.
Yeah.
Like the Africa one. No?
Yeah.
Oh snap!
He did that.
So how does that work? How does Africa? Is it the same concept?
Just doing it in Africa. Yeah. Okay. So whatever like MTV have these shows that are like international. Take them to each continent or like each
Yeah.
So
it's awesome. We all need a friend to push us in the right.
Yes.
I love your job, being a comedian in this day and age where
there's a lot of
day in, day out,
there's always something fresh happening. I mean, when you open up News 24 app in South Africa, there's always something new, fresh. That's funny, or at least I find funny that there's a funny angle for. So but it's a nice time to be a comedian.
I have to ask, when you talk about comedic inspirations, if you had to name three that come to mind, just quick one.
There's a guy called KG Mohadi who directs my show. He's probably the biggest influence in my comedy career, and probably a guy I try to mirror as much as possible. So he's based in Cape Town, a very successful comedian. Probably, I think, the best comedian in South Africa. Then the influences, Trevor Noah, be hard to not be. He took it to another level. The way he went international, it's like like in rugby terms, it's like see a police where they just like they figure that they're larger than life now. You know what I mean? Like you can't just call them on the phone and be like, say, they clocked life. They did everything that people couldn't imagine that they could do. They didn't. So Trevor Noah's there, and then last one I'd probably say internationally was with Chris Rock.
Chris Rock.
I was a big fan and still am a big fan of.
So enjoy these scandal with the Oscars.
Yeah.
We're inspired.
When Will was smacking him around. that was yeah. Hey, bro, you crook my better. I'm just like getting.
But that's how you know that the player was just had enough,
Yeah.
I thought that whole thing was fake. I'm like, there's no way that Will Smith really got up there and just slapped Chris Rock. It just looked way too fake.
Will Smith, on his biggest night as well, Will Smith won an Oscar for the first time. But no one even remembers that, bro. They just remember they fucking somebody.
It was genuine. I also think maybe the pressure where the camera was going on.
I think he got launched. He got launched by the government.
Yes, but it's Jane and as soon as Chris Rock made the comment, Jane and his gave the eye.
Yeah, he's gonna leave him awesome. Awesome, okay. It's like,
What would you get played in that situation?
If
you were Will Smith and your wife had just come through that information, I'm
not gonna frazzle myself in front of millions of people like that.
Okay.
Yeah, there's so much, bro. There's so man. Like I would definitely have a word with Chris Rock and be like, dude, come on.
But behind the cameras.
Yeah, behind it. But to do it live like that is a bit crazy.
Yeah. No, but shout out to Will Stand on Business.
Yeah.
That was
probably the last time. That was probably the last time people disrespect me. Or thought of, yeah.
No, but guys, but obviously we obviously got topics, you know.
Yeah.
We're here to talk about sports. We're here to talk about social, cultural events.
Yeah.
But obviously rugby-wise, lots of rugby this past couple months, couple weeks.
Yeah.
Obviously, we have the Box that dominated against Ireland. Obviously, second game, I wouldn't say dominant, but we'll take the good moments, and obviously we'll move forward with those. What do you think about the Box being dominant against Ireland? You think they were dominant? You think that they have some work on? What's your opinion on this?
Dominance is first game we were dominant.
Okay.
I was happy with the first game, to be honest.
Yeah.
I was very happy. I think personally we made a mistake by playing Ireland, Durban in the second game. I always feel like when it's tough opposition, we must send them to. Yeah, send them. I know we try. I know we want to play the game in every major city, but send them to Loftus, send them to Bloom, send them to Brakpan. It was just cold night in Brakpan. Captain Box, yeah, bro. Have the Toyota Hiluxes blasting off course music and one of those rolls going on. Durban is too casual, bro. So the second game for me was I don't think anyone we shouldn't have underestimated Ireland like that. I thought the second game was probably going to be a bit easier, but then in the first half they just came out. That first 20 guys have their hands on their eyes like
it was down. Most it was down too. Now it's like, who's in the lane that with both blocks? I'm a 10, but when you're down.
Like when you play in rugby and your main guy, even when we were in high school, your main guy goes down. Especially even at first team level, when the super player comes down. And that's how people looked at Instagram. They're like, yo, if he's going down. And he's there. He's bleeding. It looks like he's out of it. So
I think Ireland came with a plan that day.
Yeah, Ireland definitely. And for me, we must also give credit to Ireland for sustaining it for that long, because they even sustained the pressure of the bomb squad, which other teams, as soon as the bomb squad starts to hit, they started taking back seat. But Ireland stayed in the game and made sure that they were always in reach.
But I think a combination of the outside pressures, people are talking about the bomb squad on Twitter. I saw videos. Was it Mark Andrews? What's his name? Mark Williams. Yeah. And he's talking about how Matt Williams. Exactly. He's talking about how the Springbok bomb squad game plan is literally abusing test laws. Test rugby. That's what he said. They should change test rugby laws because the Springbok bomb squad is abusing the laws.
Let me put in here. At the 49-minute mark, 6 South African forwards walked on the field. Is that what the replacement laws for safety were designed for? And that is not any criticism of South Africa. It's not a criticism of Rassie. It's a criticism of World Rugby that allows that to happen. That is not what our game is designed for. The South Africans took full advantage of a loophole in the system, and that penalty try.
What the fuck?
What do you think about that? How is having a game plan and using your strength abusing the laws?
We spoke a bit about it off camera, actually, and we said, life's not fair. we don't play sport for it to be it's not like Man City looks at Ipswich Town and it's like, oh, those guys don't have the same budget. Let's increase our budget. No, we've got the best forward pack producing country in the world. We're gonna play towards our strength. It's like, do you guys remember when Grey Bloom used to? I remember Grey Bloom when I first saw it. I think it was 2007 when they had a squad for their first.
Oh yeah,
They had
two
they
players.
literally had the 50 players, and then the 7 players who don't play second, don't put around there, and the game would be neck and neck against these big schools, and then those 7 players would come on, and it's game over. And then people complain. I'll never forget, like Rugby 365 in the comment section, people complain. Bloom were like, "No, guys, there's nothing in the bylaws that says go do it yourself."
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it. I think if you have a problem with the